Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel, and today in part of Wild West Exodus week I'm going to talk about the end of the dystopian age. Now, one thing I do like, and I think is fantastic with any setting, is when they actually have an end game. A situation that's going to play out that ends the setting. I think this is always really cool. It's one of those things where the creators have planned the start, the middle and the end, and it just shows how much love they actually put into their game or their story or their comic. A good example of this is Spawn. Todd McFarlane has said on many occasions that Spawn does actually have an end game. There is an ending should it ever, be cancelled or, just end up finishing and not be popular anymore. So yeah, Spawn actually has that as well. So the reason I like this is it's really interesting to see how it may play out given the lore we have, and we do actually kind of know how it will play out. It's got two real factions are what big players in the end of the dystopian age, and those are the Watchers and the Order of the All Shard, which we'll call the Order at the moment because I'm not going to constantly say the Order of the All Shard every time I need to talk about them. So, who are the Watchers? The Watchers are a galactic hegemony, not exactly an empire. They don't just dominate planets. What they do is they get species from planets and envelop them into the hegemony. So, if a species has a particular talent, the hegemony will use that species just for that talent, such as the Grey Scouts, the Cerulean Spies, and Vermilion Brutes. These species actually have a use for the hegemony and can, further expand galactic peace, I should say, by having a distinct role to play. And it fits everyone. It's not just what you give to the hegemony. They do provide technology to improve your planet and make your world a better place, and basically brings peace to it, and everyone ends up content. I wouldn't say happy, but content is a good word for this. And all of the All Shard are an interdimensional species, and they're kind of gods. That's the best way we can put them. But they have a distinct role of wanting to destroy the Hex. And this is where the key component is to the end game of dystopian age. See, this is the two situations go like this. The Watchers will do one of two things one of three things to a planet, but I'll just continue anyway because it's going to it doesn't really get complicated, but it's simpler this way. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll watch a planet and they'll see if it's evolved enough to join the hegemony, or if they're evolving too quickly that they may need to be watched and monitored, and they'll get to a point whether or not they want to envelop them or not. If they choose to bring them into the hegemony, the planet's fine. It's cool. They get put into the hegemony, the planet grows, it becomes peaceful. That will pretty much end the dystopian age straight away, because peace. No more fighting on the planet, you're fighting for the galaxy now. Or they will disintegrate, not even disintegrate, they will turn the planet into pure energy at that exact second. Like that very second, it gets turned into energy, and it will either be stored, because they may think, okay, they're not quite ready, we're not quite ready for them yet, and they're not quite ready for us, but we see potential here, and we will use them later and help them grow. Or they will just literally just blast the energy into space and destroy the planet gone. So those are the two ones. So if the Watchers decide to bring Earth into the hegemony, there's world peace. So if the dystopian age is over, there's no more fighting, or it's going to be stored. Now, the All Shard has the plan of destroying the Hex, and if they can't destroy the Hex, they'll destroy the planet to make sure the Hex is gone. They've done this many, many times, and their favourite way of doing this is by putting a portal right next to the planet's star, our sun, and another portal right on the planet. So any electromagnetic protection that the planet will have from solar flares, anything like that, will be gone, because the solar flares will be on the planet, and they will literally nuke the planet that way. So that's the two ways. So you are going to be enveloped into the dystopian age into the hegemony or stored, or we're going to be destroyed by the All Shard. Now I'm going to go with the stored one for this one because this could end up creating a massive fight between the Watchers and the Order. See, here's the thing. If the Watchers see Earth and go, right, their technology is advanced enough for us, but the species themselves may need some help along the way, they would absorb the Earth. So the Earth is absorbed and stored in one of the Watchers' ships. Now, that is not the problem, because it is stored at the second of atomization or energization, whatever you want to call it, the Hex will still be alive, as with any member of the All Shard on the planet. The All Shard is not stupid, they are aware of the Watchers and they know what they do, and so if it is stored, they will still consider the Hex to be alive and a threat. They will go after the Watchers straight away. Now, as I said, the Order are an interdimensional species. They are a lot larger than what we would ever know. They're a lot more powerful than what we could even believe. But they are still mortal. They're immortal, but they're not invincible. They can be killed. So this is where the problem will go. They will attack the Watchers to destroy the Hex. Simple, really. And so this will cause a war between the two species. And you have an entire galactic empire, or hegemony, whichever which one you want to call it, being attacked by this interdimensional species. So in this case, the Order would be the aggressor and cause this massive war. This could also, with this attack on the hegemony, which is very rare because the Watchers are so quick at destroying dissenting species, to destroy a planet takes like seconds. I'm not even joking. It's very, very quick. It is. So actually being attacked is such a rarity, it's unheard of. The last time they actually got attacked was by Earthlings, when they came down during the time of Atlantis, and the Atlanteans weren't very happy with this when they discovered there were cerulean infiltrators within their mists. So they attacked with these new weapons, which I believe actually came from the Hex, and this is the first time, and actually stranded several of the Watchers on Earth. It also involves Leon de Pons, the Fountain of Youth, and gold, and it caused massive explosions. It's quite an interesting story, and really does deserve some more in-depth lore about it. So that was literally the last time the Watchers actually got attacked. Okay, so the Order is the aggressors, and we start this massive galactic war. Now, that's the Watchers side of it, because the Order attacks Earth, destroys Earth. The Watchers tend to believe, until they actually envelop a species into their hegemony, they still believe that species is part of their hegemony. It's kind of this probational thing, like they're part of them and they are under their protection still. It's really kind of this benign, malevolent thing going on, but they're watching them, they're quite creepy and very spooky, but they're watching them, making sure that the species does what it needs to do to become part of the hegemony. So, if the Order was to destroy the planet, the Watchers would consider this an attack on the hegemony because they believe the species is under their protection and they couldn't protect it, and once again causing another interdimensional intergalactic war between the Order and the Watchers. But only the difference is the Watchers this time are the aggressors and not the Order. However, the Order would be at a loss because their goal was to destroy the Hex, and if the Hex is destroyed, the Order are happy and they get to fight the war. If the Hex has moved on at this point, they are going to have split and divided forces. We're going to send they're going to send members to go off to the Hex while they're fighting this war against the Watchers. At the same time, this would cause a massive issue with the Order themselves and probably end up to their extinction, given that they are now fighting this war on two fronts. But here's the kicker. If the Order attack the Watchers, there is a big chance that the Watchers' hegemony will split and divide. Species may be at peace and, working together when things are happy, joyful and content. However, when war goes back that way on a massive scale, species tend to get very, very self-survivally. So there's going to be quite a high chance that the species will start dividing and splitting up the hegemony itself, causing an internecine civil war, as well as fighting the order. And should the Watchers survive and win the war, they're going to have to deal with these new form of politics where these species are going to say, well, you couldn't defend us against the order, we're no longer part of the hegemony, and you're going to have a massive galactic civil war just because of, the Hex in general. And I think one of the most interesting aspects about this endgame, unlike every single other science fiction film or galactic war where humans are usually the aggressors, these humans aren't the aggressors in these situations. They're not even going to be part of the war. They're just going to be just a collateral damage. That's all they're going to be. And I think it's interesting that humans have been taken out, and with Wild West Exodus and Dystopian Age, that it's showing that, there's actually worse things in the galaxy than humans, and things that humans should be afraid of. We're not the worst. We're not the best either. I mean, there is the way they're fighting. You've got the greed of the enlightened and, the colonial spirit of the Union trying to push the warrior nations out. Yeah, humans can be quite assholey. Okay, that's fine, that's acceptable. But in Dystopian Age, they are not the worst, and should the endgame situation play out, they're not even going to be part of that battle. It may be fought over them, or it may be fought over the Hex. There's the two situations there. But that's it. So anyway, I like this one actually. This was quite a cool little theory, I would call it, of the end of the Dystopian Age. I quite liked it actually. This was fun to research. I love the Watchers. They're a fantastic faction to collect. Aliens in a cowboy game is always fun and interesting. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next video, and bye-bye. Oh wait, if you want to get into Wild West Exodus, or Dystopian Wars, go to Wayland Games. There are links down below, and yes, I do get commission. They are the best place to get them because they have everything that you need to, and a lot of it's in stock. I mean, it's actually in stock, so you will get it, and you get free delivery after £20. There's Forbidden Planet for comics, mangas, DVDs, toys, plushies, etc. My merchandise, t-shirts, cups, stickers, my comics, and Skyforge. Give that guy a click. I don't get paid for him, but I do want to support a good friend of mine. Goodbye.